Attention entrepreneurs, my name is Russell Brunson, and on today's episode of Marketing Secrets, I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to get yourself and others past the initial pain so you can get to desire fast. If this is your first time on the channel, please like, subscribe, and that way you can get more videos like this every single day in your inbox. So the big question is this: how are entrepreneurs like us who didn't cheat and take on venture capital, who are spending money from our own pockets, how do we market in a way that lets us get our products and our services and the things that we believe in out to the world and yet still remain profitable? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Russell Brunson, and welcome to Marketing Secrets. Okay, so today I want to talk to you about something that I was actually just having a conversation with John here in my office a few minutes ago, and it came up. He was talking about, and John is the guy on our team that runs all of our traffic. He's amazing, and he was a ballroom dancer growing up in high school and in college, and right now his kids just started learning how to dance. And we were talking about that a little bit, and he said, it's probably kind of like you're teaching your kids how to wrestle right now and how excited you get watching them. And then we started talking about just how hard it is at first, though. Like when my kids, and also me, first started wrestling, the very first, it's not fun, right? Because you're bad, and you go out there and you get beat up by a lot of other kids, and they don't, in wrestling, it's not nice. They beat on you, and it's really bad. And John was talking about dance, the same thing. You go out there, and it's like you're really bad at first. And so looking at ourselves as coaches, right? Because if you listen to my recent podcast, like as you grow in your company, you go from being an entrepreneur to being a coach of coaching your team, right? That's how the progression grows as you try to scale a company. And so I've been looking a lot like how do we coach, how do I coach my team better? And also how do I coach my kids in wrestling, right? And it's interesting because like when somebody first starts a process, it's not fun, right? In fact, it usually sucks at first. And it doesn't matter if it's wrestling or dance or if it's Facebook ads or if it's building a funnel or whatever. There's like this part at the beginning that sucks where you have to like get through the initial like pain, right? You have to get through the pain of like learning and trial and error and like that frustration. And it's tough. And so like how do you get people past that initial pain to the point where you actually have success and you like it and then you desire it? I think back about my wrestling, and I think I might have told this story before, but when I was wrestling growing up, I started in 8th grade. Actually, I started when I was really young, and I guess I hated it. So I did it a year when I was like 5, and then my parents said I quit because I hated it. And I started again in 8th grade. And so I did 8th grade, and I was like, it's kind of fun, but I didn't really like it. I was just kind of there because my dad was making me, and I was getting beat up a lot, and I just like, this kind of sucks. And then I started learning, and then 9th grade started, and I still kind of like, I was going to practice. My dad would come after practice and try to train me so I wouldn't get beat up as bad. And I wasn't good, but like I was kind of like figuring it out a little bit. And I still remember I had my first wrestle off, and I wrestled this kid who'd been wrestling for 2 or 3 years, and I beat him, which meant I was going to be JV. And I was so scared because like that meant I was going to be in a match. I was going to be in the middle of the gym and everything. So that week, the tournament or the wrestling match happened. I still remember wrestling Brighton High School. And I go to weigh-ins, and in weigh-ins, I go and I step on the scale, and then the guy steps on the scale after me, and he's this guy, and he has a mustache. Now, to this day, I still can't grow a mustache. And he's on there in a mustache, and I'm like, what in the world? And I remember going out and going up to the gym, and they had the wrestling mats out and getting warmed up. And the only people in the stands were my mom and dad and like 3 other parents, and that was it. And everyone's going out. The first matches go out, and the second, and I'm getting so nervous. And finally, it's my turn. I go out there, and I'm in my singlet, super nervous and awkward, and there's this guy across from me who's got a mustache, and I was like, this guy, like, this is like a big dude. And so I remember shaking his hand, we started wrestling, and at the end of the match, I won. And I remember getting my hand raised and looking up into the audience and seeing my mom and dad, and seeing my dad jumping around, and I was like from that moment forward, I was a wrestler. That's when I got the desire I needed. And when I had the desire, it becomes easy, right? When you have desire, like you'll do anything. Like I wouldn't eat for 4 or 5 days out of the week to cut weight, to make weight, because like I loved it so much. Like when desire happens, it becomes easy, right? And so a lot of you guys, it's the same thing in business. Like business is like you kind of want to do it, and there's kind of that phase in there where it's like, do I do it? Do I not do it? And like And a lot of people get stuck in that before they ever get the desire. When you get the desire, it all becomes easy because now you're obsessed with it. You're going to read, and you're going to study, and you're going to do it whether you're successful or not. You don't even care. You're just going to go because you got that desire. And so for me, it's like as a coach of you guys and also as a coach of my team and now my kids, it's like how do you create that initial desire fast? Like you have to get past that initial pain and learning curve so you get to the desire as quick as you can. And so that's my question for you, for yourself and for your teams and for everyone, just like, how do I get past the pain and get to desire? Because when desire hits, then it's fun. I always tell people, like, I'd rather have kids with desire than kids with talent, because talent doesn't mean you're gonna be successful. Desire does. In fact, I never thought I was a very good athlete growing up, but I had insane desire. I loved it. Same thing in business. I don't think I was the most charismatic. I was nervous. I talked too fast. Still kind of do a little bit. But I had desire, and I loved it. I became obsessed with it. And so that's the key, getting past the pain until you have desire. So for yourself initially, look at yourself like, you in this pain point? If so, it's like, how do I create desire? How do I make it so I'm obsessed with this thing, like, where it's fun and I love it and I can't stop thinking about it? Like, that's what you gotta get to, because then this becomes easy. It's not work anymore, it's just fun. You know, with my kids, I'm gonna think about, like, how do I get them to have desire? And for wrestling, it's like, the best way to get desire is to get a win. And so right now, like, especially when my kids first started, they wanted to quit every single day. They'd come up to me literally on the water breaks, like, hey, Dad, can we quit now? And I'm like, dude, we're in the middle of practice. Like, well, can we quit now? And I'm like, no, you cannot quit. And then they go to matches and they just get beat on. And it was just like, oh, and it's like, I have to get them good enough they can win, because when you win, then you'll get desire. And so I think for you guys, it's a lot. It's just like, how do I create that initial win in your business, in your life, whatever it might be? Because when you get that first win, you taste it. And I got my hand raised, and I'm looking at this guy with a mustache, and I beat him. Boom, that's when I had the desire. That's when I became a wrestler. That's when, you know, for you, that's when you became an entrepreneur. That's when you became whatever it is for you. And so how do you get those quick wins fast so you can create desire? How do you get past that initial pain? You know, a lot of entrepreneurs who come to me initially, they come to me like, I have this idea for this project, Russell, and give me these projects that are insanely big. I'm like, that sounds amazing. If you had $10 million in funding, that you should run after that. But you don't. So let's pick a smaller thing. Let's get a win. Let's practice. Like, my first win was a little product called Zip Brander, right? And then how to make potato gun, and then form fortunes, these little stupid things. They were little wins, but that little win then creates the desire, and then that desire is what drives you to the big wins. So think about that for yourself. How do you create those little wins? How do you get past the initial pain so they can have a win and get desire? When you're training new people on your team, how do you give them the initial wins so they can have desire? So I'm putting it out there as a thought. I don't know the answer. It's different in every situation, but just know that that's your goal. It's get people past the initial pain of a new thing, and so they can create desire, and then from there, they'll go on their own, and it'll run, and it'll be easy. So hope it helps you guys. Appreciate you all. Have an amazing day. If you are on iTunes right now, please go like and comment. We just opened up a new channel, which is where you guys are on right now. So if you go comment on the new channel, that'd be awesome. If you are on the old channel still getting these, you're not able to leave a comment, but if you go to iTunes and search for Marketing Secrets, you can subscribe to the new channel, and you can leave a comment, which would be awesome. And if you are here on YouTube watching this, please subscribe to our channel, like it, leave a comment, and I'd really appreciate that. That'd be awesome. Thanks again, you guys, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye. Would you like to see behind the scenes of what we're actually doing each day to grow our company? If so, then go subscribe to our free behind the scenes reality TV show at www.funnelhacker.tv.